The most stressful things are probably the bullying. It's ongoing.
It first started with someone calling me fat, and I started to cry because it was like the first time I ever got like made fun of or like called a name.
I've been called the N word, the B word. I have been bullied a lot. Pretty much every single school I went to.
A lot of people just wouldn't even like go near me because they just thought I was a weirdo, I guess.
At first, I thought it was something that I can handle on my own until they started including more people.
I kept it inside a lot.
And then people just kept calling me gay, fat.
My hair, my height, my looks, just like me in general.
Bullying is incredibly serious, and it has a great impact on a child's mental health. It can make them feel depressed, anxious, want to refuse school, make them feel worthless. So the three things we really want to keep in mind when we're thinking about whether this is a bullying behavior or not is the first, that it is repetitive behavior. The second is that there's a power differential. So the people that are doing the bullying are either older, bigger, more popular. And then the third is that it really feels inescapable. So the person who is experiencing it feels like they can't escape that situation. For a parent who has a child who's going through bullying, it's incredibly difficult.
My older son had a situation where a kid in his middle school put like a stink bomb in the backpack or something. And I mean, it was escalating with this other kid. And I was hearing stories about how he was getting pushed. And I was so upset.
With Nora, once she got her phone and she got her social media account, a friend did a recording, but somebody took that and made it into like top 10 ugly girls. That really affected her. She was on that top 10. And it devastated her, you know, like as a teen coming of age and you feel like, am I on that ugly list?
I know how it feels to be bullied and to be an outcast myself. So seeing my bright, happy, beautiful son just go through these struggles and to see people hurt him for things he can't control, like his ethnicity, his stature, you know, unfortunately, it's not going to stop there until he finds his own strength.
It is incredibly normative to want to step up and potentially tell your child to fight back, or you reach out to the other parent, or you actually talk to the kid who's doing the bullying. And we just want to be mindful of not overcorrecting and stepping in maybe too soon or in a way that could actually amplify the situation or make things worse.
You as a parent can be your child's strongest ally and partner. We know that it is tempting sometimes to jump in and try and take over yourself, but the reality of it is you're not always going to be there. So you can help your child to plan and strategize. For example, how can they get away from a bully? How can they respond and deflect? How can they find a trusted adult, somebody else that they can go to for a sense of security, or actually to report the bullying so that accountability can happen?
So when my son was in kindergarten, this boy wouldn't let him make friends with anybody. I noticed that if he didn't understand how to express himself, I would tell him, okay, pretend I'm the teacher and tell me what you want to say to me. And then if he couldn't quite get it out, I would say, okay, well, why don't you pretend to be the teacher and I'll tell you how I feel about this.
He was really depressed, overeating because he was so anxious, until he started talking about his feelings more and getting help and therapy and feeling the support of parents, family, friends, whatever. He started getting better.
One of the things that we certainly recommend parents do is getting the school community involved, telling the teacher, telling a principal, really coming up with a plan that helps to separate your child from the person who's doing the physical harm.
Our goal here is to keep everybody safe, including your kid. And following the school rules and the policies is going to be the best bet for everybody to ensure safety. So contacting the school, documenting the information, in the event that things get escalated and we need to get others involved, like the authorities. That way you have a good record of all those things.
We talked to the principal, we talked to the school about it, and ultimately one of his friends who's a year older than him stood up for him to that bully. And we had this amazing situation happen where the bully actually stopped bullying him. It was an example of a child standing up for another child, and that had amazing results.
My son, he'll let me know if somebody's being mean to him. I will nip it in the butt first day. I will address it to his teachers. I will address it to the principal. I just need to be a little bit more on top of it and vigilant, and just put aside some of those fears of feeling like you're being portrayed as somebody who's complaining too much. I just put that all aside and I say, he's entitled to feel safe.